Is it a fire in the belly or just indigestion? Hello and welcome back to my writing journey. I'm Byerrum, author of The Crime of Fashion Mysteries and soon to be published Crook Tales for Two. Today I'm thinking about that fire in the belly, that fierce desire to succeed and taking the steps to do so. Not everybody does. What does it take to be a writer? We can talk about talent and education and connections and discipline, but do we have that certain something that drives us over the finish line, that keeps us writing? What about the writers who stop? Did the fire suddenly go out one day? Or was the effort required to reach the reward, the effort to reward ratio, simply not worth it? Humans have a drive to create, but it comes in different ways. Some people come up with math equations, other people plant gardens, still others build buildings and houses. When I was a reporter at BNA, the former Bureau of National Affairs, I was struck by two things. One was that because we had a good contract and we were protected by the Newspaper Guild of America, we had the ability to have an outside life. We had normal working hours. Because of that, I was surprised by, two, how many people wrote at night, or they acted in plays, they directed plays, they played in a band, they painted pictures. Many people have the drive to create, and they created outside of work hours. I was able to write plays and books because the type of writing I did during the day was very different. One might say very dry. I covered the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, where I learned about all the horrible ways you die on the job. And the writing style was just the facts, Jack. No adjectives. I had a lot of adjectives and thoughts left over for creative writing. At the time, I felt like I never accomplished enough, and I should be writing more and more. But during that time, I managed to write 9 books and a dozen plays. I was driven. Now I see that. I still seem to be somewhat story-driven, and there are days when it makes no sense at all. I'm always surprised that people have a desire to write, but not the determination. They dabble, and that's enough for them. And that's good. They probably have very pleasant lives. We have to decide what kind of writer we are. So many writers want to write, but they only write in their head, in their imagination. Others, being in a writing group is enough to stop them forever. They get a little bad feedback or a little just critical feedback, and that's it. They never write again. Lots of people want the accoutrement of being a writer, to wear a scruffy jacket, to discuss deep thoughts over endless cups of coffee in a cafe with other like-minded would-be writers. Still others do write a few articles, a story, maybe a play, and that is enough to tie them over for the rest of their lives. When I walked into my first journalism class in college, I thought everybody looked like a reporter, like a professional journalist. And now I laugh at my thoughts. I tried to not be impressed with that. But I wonder now how many actually made it to journalism. Many do not. It's a tough life. The pay is poor. Unless you're covered by a Newspaper Guild contract, you will be abused. Others, though, you go through 4 years of college, you go through training and internships, and then give it up. Seems like a lot of effort. When I was at the university, which has since killed the School of Journalism, and now my degree is probably worth nothing, not even the paper it's printed on, I worked with another J-School student at JCPenney. She was a year ahead of me. She was on the skyrocketing path to success. She had a great internship. She had a new job starting right after graduation, and she was on her way. Well, I was shocked when a couple of months later she returned to JCPenney. She quit journalism, she had had it, and she was joining the management program at JCPenney. Well, I'm glad that JCPenney is still around, although struggling like so many newspapers. Another story, after I graduated and had my poverty-level job and my new shiny degree, I met another journalism school working at a cosmetics counter at a department store. She had a master's degree in journalism, and she was selling cosmetics. I was rather surprised, and I asked her why she wasn't in journalism, and she just said, with a very straight face, because I have a gift for makeup. She was now wearing shiny blue eyeshadow, but I had never seen her with a stitch of makeup on in college. But we all have our fantasies, we all have our justifications, so let her be a makeup expert. But I wonder about their stories. Do they have stories? We all communicate in stories. I have stories to write. They probably never crawled through a massage parlor window, or went on wild horse hunts with cowboys to find wild horses, or covered a fire in a dress. They never worked for a madman who hired a printer from the prison because the poor guy couldn't quit until his parole was up. He was that crazy an employer that even prisoners wouldn't work for him. Are you a writer? It doesn't matter if you have a degree in creative writing. It all comes down to the moment when you have to face that blank page and pull out your story and your thoughts and dance with them on the keyboard or with a pen and paper. Even so, there are times, so many times, when the words you come up with sound horrible to your ears. There are moments when life interferes with your best laid plans. You're rejected when it seems everybody else is accepted, everybody else is winning lauds and laurels and awards. There are lots of those moments too. And you have moments when you wonder if it matters at all. Your story, your play, your book. That's when you have to decide if you have that fire in the belly or just a case of mild indigestion. Those are my thoughts for today, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.